Hello and welcome back to Kiki's Brides-to-Be. I am Kiki, the wedding planner, and today I would like to talk about the wedding nose. So each wedding planner has their own style. There's things that they disagree with certain wedding planners and whatnot, so I would just like to tell you the top 5 no's for me. First of all, balloons. I know this is a curious subject, as obviously look at them, they look lovely and everything. So let me explain why. So certain people, such as myself, have phobias of balloons. So you never know, your wedding guests, certain people, children, anyone you don't always know could be scared of balloons popping, and having balloons around children is even more of a risk because, well, self-explanatory reasons. So balloons displays like this, it looks lovely, of course, but because it's low down, children can still grab it. So I'm not saying balloons are a no-no, but more specifically, if it was something like this instead, then that looks a lot better. It's kept neat, it's not messy, and most importantly, out of reach of children and, say, anyone that would try and grab them. So it saves people the stress, it looks presentable, it looks really quite nice still, and you could even have it as a centrepiece, so it saves money on centerpieces. So rather than spending £200-300 or more on a display like the last one that looks nice, it doesn't quite go as well as this one does. So that would be my explanation for balloons. So I'm not saying balloons are a no, but just kept tastefully like this. My next one I would like to say is about bridesmaids. So don't worry, it's nothing major bad. But let's go into it. So looking at this image, of course, it looks lovely and all, but bridesmaids in white, I think, even though they are trying to bring it back in and make it a popular thing, I kind of disagree still, because only the bride should be wearing white, I think. So maybe the flower girl, I understand the whole innocent thing, so that's why the flower girl is wearing white as well, which I understand. But the bridesmaids, they don't need to all be wearing white. Yeah, they've got an important role as well, so they don't need to have the exact same colour as the bride. They could still have something just as nice without it being white. So yeah, so and then my second point to do with bridesmaids would be this one. So that is the correct order for walking down the aisle, I would say. So that is a very OCD point, I would say, for myself. So bridesmaids should always go first, as it says right here, and a lot of other, well, points of research say exactly the same, that it should always be bridesmaids walk down the aisle first before the bride. So I don't know why some like to go behind the bride, because then they're not exactly having their moment. Of course, it's about the bride and the groom, but the bride's going to have her moment, of course, so why can't the bridesmaids if they go in the correct order? So if they go first, then they get to have their moment. If they're behind the bride, they're not having their moment. So yeah, so like I said, it's quite an OCD point that the bridesmaids do go first, as it's the most traditional way anyway. And on to my next point, groomsmen and the groom. So even though the man at the front is noticeably the groom, well, not quite noticeably, because do they hardly look any different? Are they all wearing exactly the same thing pretty much? Yes. So that would also be my point, is that the groom should be wearing something a little bit more than the groomsmen, as it's the same for the bride and the bridesmaids. So maybe he could be wearing a different colour, or have an extra under vest thingy, whatever it's called, or something extra to make it noticeable that he's the groom, such as this. It's not a massive difference, but you can tell that he is different by having a different tie. So it could be something as simple as that, or you can do it up a little bit more and make it even more different, make it a different colour or something. So yeah, they're my main big no-nos. And just one last one is don't walk too quickly down the aisle, because you can savour the moment and you don't want to throw off the wedding singer going too quickly, because they obviously want to finish to the point that they're supposed to finish. I think it's like 1 minute or something. So you can enjoy, you can savour the moment when you're walking down the aisle. Go slowly, maybe not too slow, but just not too quickly. And yeah, they're my no points. I hope you can agree and understand from my point of view, and hope you enjoy.